goodness, this is incredible. As the announcer said, my name is Karesha McGee. My pronouns are she, her, and hers, and you are in for an incredible treat. So today we're going to be speaking with Janelle Monáe. Yes. Let's start off with giving her flowers early. So Janelle Monáe is a multi-hyphenate like no other. A Grammy-nominated singer, songwriter, actor, producer, and author. She burst onto the scene in 2010 with the release of her debut studio album, The Archandroid, featuring the monster hit Tyro. Does anybody remember Tyro? Yeah. Remember the Lupe Fiasco and B.O.P. remix too? Yeah? Any hit? Okay, all right. So Tyro was incredible, and that album was nominated for a Grammy for Best Contemporary R&B Album. And the Grammy nominations have not stopped since. Janelle Monáe is an 8-time Grammy-nominated singer. Woo! The accolades continue to her acting resume as well. Ms. Monáe, as many of you are probably familiar, starred in Hidden Figures as NASA mathematician and aerospace engineer Mary Jackson. And she also starred in Moonlight, which won the Academy Award for Best Picture. It should also be noted that she received the Essence Black Women in Hollywood Breakthrough Awards for both of these roles. Absolutely incredible. I'm not finished yet though. We're gonna keep this going because she has done a lot of things. So Janelle Monáe is now a New York Times best-selling author with her book, The Memory Librarian and Other Stories of Dirty Computer. A true storyteller in every sense of the word, she tells stories with her music, with her acting, with her community work, her incredible fashion, and the written word. As David Letterman would say, our next guest truly needs no introduction. Please welcome the incomparable Janelle Monáe.
What's up, y'all?
Hi. Okay. I gotta admit, okay, all right, this is very exciting. I'm having a pinch me moment. So we are so excited that you're here. We really appreciate you taking the time, coming out from the West Coast. This is very exciting. Now this is a tech conference, but you look incredible. And so I feel like I can't start, I think I have an idea, but I'm just gonna ask. Can you tell us, who are you wearing?
I'm wearing, me.
All right.
I mix a lot of things, so
Yep.
I think I may have on this Gucci sweater, Ralph Lauren shirt that I've had. I buy in bulk, so if I like something, I'm like, I need 5 of those, please. So yeah, just like a shirt I've probably had for the last 6-7 years.
It works.
Yeah.
And the hat?
Yeah, this is, I don't know.
Okay.
Well, you know what I'm saying? It just felt very Janelle Monáe-ish, and I just went and pulled it out.
Wonderful. Well, thank you. It looks amazing. So first, I want to dive in. Congrats again on becoming a New York Times best-selling author with your book, The Memory Librarian and Other Stories of Dirty Computer. I don't know if any of you all have had a chance to pick it up. I happen to have my copy here. I would encourage all of you to read it. It's incredible science fiction. And I also listened to it on Audible, and so you have the added bonus of getting a chance to hear Janelle Monáe read it. So it's a fascinating book, collection of stories. What inspired you to write this?
Well, this book was inspired, The Memory Librarian was inspired by my album, Dirty Computer. And so it comes from that same soil, and the concept around that album dealt with erasure and the erasing of memories under this totalitarian regime, and them all, coming together and centering around Jane and Zen. There was a movie that we put out with it for Dirty Computer as well. And so there were 2 characters that we focused on, but I knew I had more to say. And I have been approached about, doing books and coffee table stuff, and it just felt right to, in the middle of being in a pandemic where like I couldn't tour anymore, my tours got canceled, meetings, everything. I had to just, guess, reimagine the way that I was telling stories. And I was like, it's time that we got into the literary space in a real way. And I knew that there were so many people impacted by that album, and how it just created this community of folks from the LGBTQIA plus communities, you know, non-binary, black and brown folks. Like, there were so many people that were moved. It only felt right for me to talk more about the different kinds of people who existed in this world. And also collaborate with those people in the literary space whose work I loved, and I knew that they understood this world. So we took a pretty radical approach, if you will. Like, I collaborated with 5.
I was going to ask. Yeah. Well, and speak on that a little bit, because I mean, writing as a solo exercise is hard enough as it is, let alone with 5 other people. So how did you identify the 5 folks that you wanted to write with? For those of you, again, if you haven't read it, so it's a collection of 5 science fiction stories, incredible stories. She wrote them with 5 different folks. And so tell us how you identified the people you wanted to work with, and what was that process like, collaborating?
Yeah, so it started as this thought experiment. I was like, okay, so we're dealing with memories. We know that people who are considered dirty computers are being snatched. They're being taken, and their memories are being erased, and they're given these new identities, right? And I was like, what if one of the stories deals with this? What if there was a memory librarian, like, who had this whole Dewey Decimal System of people's memories of their past lives, and she was the keeper? What happens when she wants to fall in love, but she knows everybody's secrets?
It's a good story.
And so, you know, that's one of the first stories I did with Eliadon Johnson, whose work I love. She does a lot of fantasy, speculative fiction.
Right.
And so, as I started to do these thought experiments, I just pulled who I thought would be good.
Yeah.
And then, you know, there's a Danny Lore, who I worked with on Nevermind.
Yeah.
There is Cherie Renee Thomas, who I worked with on no, I did Save Changes with Johanka Delgado, Cherie Renee Thomas. Excuse me, I gotta make sure I say all their names correctly.
Absolutely. Give them their flowers too.
I did time. Okay, yeah. So anyway, we know all. You know what? Here they go. Here we go. Let's give them a shot. We did time. I did Time Box with Cherie Renee Thomas. Save Changes with Johanka, and then there's another Time Box that I did with Evel Ewing, who is just incredible. So I tried to just pick people that I felt were strong in the areas, like, once I got out all my thought experiments.
Yeah. No, that's incredible. I mean, so we're here at S.L.A.C. Frontiers. I love that you did a collaborative book. At S.L.A.C., we're very, very focused on collaboration. I'm curious, did you use S.L.A.C. at all as part of the writing process, either when you were collaborating with the artists or with the other authors?
Absolutely. I would have not been able to do this without S.L.A.C. And I'm so happy that I can, like, say that, and I really mean it. You know what I mean? Like, I really mean it when I say S.L.A.C. has changed my life. I have, like, from my acting, I have a whole acting world. I have a whole music world. I have, you know, I'm in the literary space now. I have just my personal schedule, my personal life. I'm running a TV and film company. It's just too much. And so my editor Kyle, my team, my management team, like, we had to get specific about our channels around this book. Right. So it was like memory librarian, potential writers. Like, as soon as, you know, everybody would just kind of throw in what they thought would be good for me to collaborate in that channel. And I have to be, and I want the team to be very specific about the channels. Don't do a broad channel and start talking about everything under that. No. Who are we talking about here in this channel? So there's a memory librarian merch channel, like designs that we wanted to do around merch. There was editing, like when we would finish a draft, we would put those drafts in there. So absolutely, I could not have written this and done this without S.L.A.C.
Wow, Oh, that's so incredible. It's music to my ears, and I have to say it was definitely a pinch me moment for myself and for a lot of folks on the team. Stewart was talking about it earlier when you tweeted, how much you use Slack and how much of a part of your work it is. So I want to know, how did you discover Slack? Was it introduced to you? Were you just playing around with enterprise software tools? And you're like, oh, this seems interesting. Like, how did it come to you?
My manager, actually, who's here, Mikhail Moore. Let's give him a round of applause. Because, yeah, he's here. We, as a company, because there's so many things that we're doing, and I'm just thankful to be able to do the things that I love and to be able to move in the way that I move in the world. But it was becoming stressful with email. I'm just like, there has to be another way. There has to be another way. Maybe my spirit, all of our spirits, just as partners, just like what else is out there. And so he brought it to us. And at first I was like trained in the way that a lot of us was trained, text message, email, right? So I didn't know how I was gonna like it. And when I tell you, I was just like, you know what? You're staying around here, buddy, because this is paramount. This is exactly what our team needed.
Yeah. Oh, that's wonderful to hear. That's fantastic. I'm curious. You touched on it a little bit. How is your Slack structured? You wear so many hats. You do music, literary, movies, your production company. How do you had the specific channels for the book, but kind of how else is your Slack structured?
Well, I don't really use Slack for personal stuff. I don't. I'll maybe text message or voice note or call, friends, family.
Yeah.
I really only use Slack for business.
Works. Yeah.
So that's it. And yeah, it's broken up into those, like as I mentioned earlier, my music side. So I'm in the studio right now recording. So right now I have very excited.
We're waiting with bated breath.
Very excited. I cannot wait for this next chapter. So I have to be specific about my studio schedule.
Right.
And if there's a new mix of a song that comes in, I'll have my producers drop that in and my engineer drop that in. I have to get really specific about, video ideas. On the acting side, when scripts come in, all the new scripts that we should be looking at on the TV and film side, like what meetings are we having, who should I be meeting with?
Right.
I don't know. I have so many channels. We've had to archive a lot. Because even when I was working on my last album, I wouldn't have been able to really get through with my stress level as reduced as it was without having Slack. Because we started everything started kind of around that time. Yeah.
Oh, that's incredible. Well, and shout out again to your manager. That's fantastic. We appreciate you. Continuing the theme of collaboration, I think collaboration is going to be the word for today. So over the years, you've collaborated with some incredible artists and innovators, S.L.A.C.K, Janelle, so many wonderful people. We talked about Lupe Fiasco, B.O.B., etc. We talked about on the music side. For your movies, you have Hidden Figures, you have Moonlight, and it was just announced that you were going to be starring in the Knives Out 2. Has anyone seen the opening for that? Yeah, Knives Out 2. It's called Glass Onion. And so, not necessarily going to break any news here, but can you share with us a little bit in terms of what the movie's about, what your character is?
Sure, it's so fun. We shot it last year in Greece. So I don't know who's been to Greece here, but I had an opportunity to just go to Greece for the first time, which was amazing, and work with incredible actors that I've been studying for a while, like Edward Norton is in the movie, and Kate Hudson, and obviously Benoit Blanc himself.
Yep.
And Daniel Craig. Been able to work with him. The cast was fun. I love Ryan Johnson. The first Knives Out one, fan of, so fun. And I think this one, I think that how I left feeling from set, I was like, oh, this is going to be big. This is going to be fun. Super fun. I love whodunits. I'm a big fan of that, whole genre of things. And that's all I can tell you. Actually, I hate onions. So when I heard what the title was, I was kind of like, okay. But it's super clever, and once you watch it, you'll be like, oh, okay. So that's the only onion that I like. It's
Got it. Glass onion. Yep. Yeah. Got it. Well, and to your point, you're working with an incredible cast. Did you collaborate with anyone on the cast or with producers, like when you were sharing script ideas, or if you had a different idea for how you wanted to say a particular line or anything? Did S.L.A.C.K play into any of that?
Well, for my team, so like if I wanted things, I was like, I need this. I'm tired of it. I would absolutely S.L.A.C them from Greece to let them know, what was going on. Or if I'm just like, hey, send the director or I need like gifts. I would probably go into like Knives Out, kind of travel channel, like all of it, like Knives Out, hairstylist, because I got an opportunity to pick my makeup and hairstylist. So they would email, because I don't know, like they would email, but my team would take that email, copy and paste, and put it in S.L.A.C. For me, because I tell them, if it's not in S.L.A.C, I didn't see it. I literally tell, like, if you didn't S.L.A.C me about it, don't say you texted, right? Say you text, because that's not how that's not how I communicate.
No. I mean, it makes perfect sense. Many of us here would say the exact same thing. If it's not in S.L.A.C, it didn't happen. Now, so something that may be a little controversial, I learned this in an earlier interview you did. So, yes, S.L.A.C is your digital HQ. It is central to everything you're doing. But I learned you said you have your notifications turned off. Is that true?
Absolutely.
And what was the impetus for that? I know there's some people like clutching their pearls. What? No notifications.
I mean, I don't have notifications for anything, so I don't know if somebody, obviously you get the green, when someone texts you, you get the green new text thing and the little dot. But with S.L.A.C, I can't do alerts, and because I'm recording, I also use my phone for voice memos and ideas, and like, I would hate to be in a really creative space and I know that someone is pinging me about business. Like, that's like in the middle of an idea, that is my work, that will irritate me.
Got it.
And it'll get me away from the idea that I will need to be able to gift ideas and inspiration to the rest of the world. So, no notifications for me. I go in at specific times of the day. So I'll probably like roll over. I'll probably check S.L.A.C before I actually check my text messages.
Pro tip.
Because I'm just like, okay, what has my schedule changed? Like, what's up? And it just gives me a peace of mind to know like that everything about business is here. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can dip in, dip out, and not feel like, okay, but my mom also could be slacking me, and
compartmentalized it.
It's just for my sanity.
I get that. Any other pro tips? Like if you're working on a project, if Christian Siriano is designing a new gown for you or something like that, and they've never used S.L.A.C before, are you the resident S.L.A.C expert? Do you send your team over to kind of help them figure it out? How do you, when you're collaborating with folks who may not be familiar with S.L.A.C, how do you use that?
We indoctrinate everything. It literally is like soon as I hire somebody, I'm like, do you have S.L.A.C? And they'll be like, no, what is it? Like my head of development now, like she's on S.L.A.C now, and she's worked for Ridley Scott and so many amazing people, and I'm like, you don't have S.L.A.C? How are you surviving? How have you been able to do all those amazing things? But I was like, you have to do S.L.A.C, and now she slacked me this morning. She's like, so I need you to read this. She loves it.
Perfect.
She loves it.
Perfect. That's good. Well, so earlier today we were talking about some of the new and enhanced features and functionality. Many of you heard we talked a little bit about huddles and clips. So I understand. I'm not sure if you've used huddles yet, where you can make an audio first call in S.L.A.C. But I'm curious. Can you think of ways in which something like huddles or clips, where you can actually do video recording, might be useful in some of your projects?
I used it when I was in Greece.
Oh, perfect. Perfect. I stand corrected.
Yeah, I did. I actually used audio and is video
clips.
on there? Yeah, clips.
Yeah. Although today we announced, so we have audio enhancements, or video enhancements, excuse me, with clips.
Oh,
too.
what kind of
With
enhancements?
Huddle. Well, so you can actually use it. You can screen share.
Oh.
We'll have to show you the demo. You can screen share, you can draw on it, you can do emojis. It's incredible.
That's cool. Okay, I'm excited about that. Yeah, I used it when I was overseas.
Okay.
Because my Wi-Fi connection and just like on phone service was just really, really janky.
Okay.
But once I did get like strong Wi-Fi, I think we used it a couple times. We Zoomed, but then we also used that
Oh, that's
to
great.
call each other, just to call and check in.
Very cool, very cool. Well, you have a lot of additional fans now if you ever want more tutorials around huddles and pledges.
Love it.
That.
Love it.
I want to shift gears a little bit back to movies. We were talking about Glass Onion, which is incredible, but some of the previous ones that you've been in, Hidden Figures, Moonlight, you've always made this art that focuses on these really important themes. You talked a lot about the idea of raising the voices and serving as an advocate for those who may have been othered. For example, Hidden Figures, highlighting the contributions of African Americans to science and NASA, et cetera. You've had some incredible projects. Do you have any that are favorites? Like one or two that's a favorite?
Favorites. I mean, I think that I'm always in a state of gratitude to be able to be in like Hidden Figures, which comes on cable TV, regular TV. It's still touching so many households and so many like young, aspiring, STEM, babies who just like want to make their career, using my character as a way to define who they want to be in life.
Sure.
Is no small thing.
Yeah.
Is what I'm trying to say. So each film, whenever somebody is able to look at that and like you showed me how to show it for my young cousin who was trying to figure out, their sexuality. Like I'm a better listener by watching your character listen and not do anything else other than just listen.
Wow.
All of that. Those are moments. I think I'm in this space though now where I love my imagination and I love watching artists who like can do those movies where you're showing up for communities, you can do that, and also be able to do those fun comedic movies that are lighthearted, that may not necessarily be about like a fight.
Sure.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm at that space of finding that balance in my personal life, and as well as it's all one life to me.
Mm-hmm.
So what I do as an artist, in TV and film and music, all of it impacts my personal life. All of it is one life. So I try my best to just have fun and do fun things. That's why I took the Knives Out role, and I'm just kind of trying to create a life to where everything doesn't have to be. I get to redefine how I want to show up.
Yeah.
And so I'm like in the middle of redefining that now.
Oh, that's incredible. Well, and I think what you said too about serving as an example for other communities, you spoke obviously African Americans, Black and Brown people, other folks, other underrepresented minorities, members of the LGBTQIA+ community. We saw you, I'm sure many of you saw, you were named the Grand Marshal for the West Hollywood Pride Parade. We're getting ready to close out Pride Month. Your advocacy is just so important. I'm very curious though, since you've worked across a number of different genres, which one do you think is most impactful as it relates to your advocacy? A movie, a book, or a song?
That's a really beautiful and hard question to answer. As a storyteller in all those different mediums, a song can definitely change your heart, your mind. It can bring people together that may not have the same political beliefs, but they're all together dancing to this song. They're having a real human-to-human connection. A film can also do that. A book, I don't know. That is something that I think I might go away from pondering because my life has been changed by watching movies.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, The Matrix, Metropolis.
Yeah.
You know, really helped push my whole love for science fiction telling.
Right.
But then also Stevie Wonder.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I don't know.
How to
A song from him can change my heart and humble me. And literature, you know, Octavia Butler, Wild Seed, all of it, like it's just so much. And I just feel, I'm just gonna say, I feel thankful to be a vessel, to be a portal, if you will, at times for ideas, and to be a storyteller, and being able to just go through all of those spaces in the way that I want to.
Yeah. Oh, that's incredible. You mentioned the 1927 film. I'm not sure for those of you not familiar. 1927 German silent science fiction film, Metropolis. And Fritz Lang, the incredible director. What was it about that movie that you talked a lot about your imagination, and you said that was one that really just hit home for you. What was it about that movie that inspired you?
I think it was the black and white of it. It was very minimalist. And I think the story, there was like a quote that said like, the mediator between the mind and the hand is the heart. And I clearly saw just that struggle between the working class and the working class, like have-nots and the haves.
Yeah.
Those who sit at the top. And it just reminded me of growing up in Kansas, you know, growing up as a working class, a whole family that serves the community. And I just felt like it was during that moment that the same stories are being told. Like even though Fritz Lang, this was a silent
world,
he spoke loud. And it was like, oh, we still have work to do. Oh, I want to be the heart. That's what it really helped me. It was like, I need to be a bridge between these spaces. And even just now, like just where I sit, you know, being able to be in rooms with these kind of folks, but knowing where I've come from, you know, having a grandmother who cooked food in the county jail for 25 years, like you have a different perspective about hard work and dedication and commitment to community. So, yeah, it just made me like understand my purpose was to be the heart.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Something else I found interesting, saying the theme again of when you were young and imagination, you talked about how you believe that even though we're here now, you were actually born in the future and you were brought back here. So you're basically visiting us from the future. I'm curious, like you're a futurist, you self-proclaimed. What do you see on the horizon? I think you focused a lot on heart, but what are some of the big trends that you see coming on the future? We're at a tech conference, so you know we gotta do some predictions.
Well, yeah, I absolutely do believe, you know, that my spirit has been sent here to do something. And I'm being, but I think right now, I think everybody is feeling that call for balance. Balance is being restored, and I think those of us trying to be restored. I think that there are those of us who are accepting, that want to evolve, that, you know, want to let love be the guide, how we're communicating. It's just like a softness, a tenderness that is trying to bring humanity together, and there are those who fight against that, and I think those who do that will have a hard time. They'll have a really difficult time with the concept of being like water versus being a rock, you know? And I think that, yeah, that's what we're watching right now, and it's going to be very interesting to see how it plays out. And it doesn't have anything to do with gender or sexuality. It's literally just energy. And it's how we are using our energy and like getting in tune with just the power in those who, you know, choose to use, if you believe in the masculine, the feminine, everything in between, whatever it is, but those who are showing up with a tenderness and a softness for the person to your left and to your right, I think we'll be on the right side of history.
That's critical. That's critical. So we're almost out of time, and I want to do a quick round of lightning round questions. But one more question to you again, because you spoke about your humble beginnings in Kansas City. I know, I believe if I read correctly, your father was a trash man, and your mom was a custodian at one point in your life, cleaning houses. You talked about your imagination and the ability for you to, again, see into the future and see different opportunities. Now that you're as busy as you are, now that you're this busy superstar wearing a ton of different hats, do you still have the opportunity to dream and to imagine? Like, do you feel like you have that time to sit and think about what's next?
Yes. And if I don't feel like I have that time, I take that time. What I realize is that somebody's going to take your time.
Yep.
You may think that it's not happening, but it is.
Yeah.
And you got to steal it back. You really have to be deliberate and intentional about your time, and the time for creators specifically, those of us who are entrepreneurs. Like, we have to figure out a way that works for us.
Yep.
I think one thing that the pandemic has shown all of us is that things don't have to go that way. Like, meetings got canceled, award shows got canceled,
Right.
tours got canceled.
Yeah.
We can burn it down and build it up, and do what feels good to us at that moment, not what worked 5 years ago or even a month ago.
Yeah.
And I think I have definitely, you know, at times didn't realize that I could be the author of my own sort of like world. And I think my imagination is what gets me there, because I gotta imagine it. Like, I imagine, what if we did meetings differently? Like, why did it have to be so stressful?
We think about that a lot too.
I can have a cocktail in this meeting. Like, I can smoke if I want to. Like, what are we? Why are we working in those same? Who told me that I had to do that?
Yeah.
Who told me that? Yeah. Who is this person who's been in the back of my mind? But what it is, what I realize, is not a person saying you can't. I had to give myself permission.
Yep.
And I wasn't giving myself permission to do those things. So imagination is absolutely key to how I survive. Like, I love dreaming up different ways of how, just reimagining who I can be and what I can become on my own terms. Just making recommitting to my agency, you know, as a creator, as a human.
Yes.
Recommitting to what happiness feels like to me as a human. Recommitting to my freedom. Yeah.
Oh, that's incredible. This is wonderful. I know you have to run. We have a couple of quick lightning round questions, so don't think too hard. Just
All right.
first thing that comes to mind. Okay. Favorite Slack emoji?
Favorite Slack emoji. Ooh. I mean, I think I use the fire sign a lot.
Okay.
Like, especially if I'm like, so they're like, okay, so they're gonna pay for da 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 da. We got them to also cover your assistant. Fire.
Yep.
That's it. Like, I do a fire, I do a heart, I do celebration. Like, I'm one of those. I want one of each.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay, perfect. You said you were always in Slack. So what is the first channel you check every day, or what is the busiest channel that has the most activity in it for you?
I got a channel called Money. And that's like, only a small few of us are in that channel.
Right.
And I know exactly what it's about.
Right.
I do check that channel. And then I have a schedule, the JM daily schedule.
Okay.
And so I check that because sometimes while I'm asleep, like, you know, call time for this could have got pushed back. So I need to know, like, oh, can I snooze? And I think this is probably the last channel that I'll check too. And then, it just depends on like what's consuming me at that time.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Any new pandemic hobbies you picked up?
Hobbies.
Or new activities? You guys are sourdough starter?
I've been having more game nights at my house.
Okay.
That's been really fun. Like, I love murder mystery parties.
Yeah.
I love, I play, do we have any rummy cubers here? Y'all are my kind of people. Yes. I love rummy cube. And I'll do like, card game, but it's so fun, card games, all of that. And I'll just like randomly be like, I want to have a game night, and I'll just see who's available and just have us get tested with our home test, and I'm just like, this is what we are going to be doing.
All right.
Or, till 6 in the morning. Playing games, having fun, and just not talking about work.
Yep.
Just, you have to create time to just do nothing. Or not nothing, but like, just, you know what I'm saying?
Chill.
Yeah, not talking about anything heavy, like, don't come over here asking me about work.
Yep.
Or an email,
Yep.
or a Slack.
Yeah.
We're just having a wonderful time.
Perfect. Last question. What music are you listening to these days, other than your own?
Ooh, other than my own.
I know
That's
the Beyonce
really
last
interesting.
night.
Oh yes, Love. That's my girl. I'm so happy she is back. What else? I have a really. What have I been listening to? I mean, this morning I was listening to a lot of 90s music, so a lot of like, it kind of grounds me when I can put on like something from the 90s, like Tribe Called Quest, or like a SWV, or it just takes me to like a time in my life where, things didn't feel too serious.
Yeah. Oh, this was amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank
I
you.
really appreciate it.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I'm going to close things out. You can hang out if you want.
All right. Well, thank you guys.
Thank you so much. All right, okay, we have come to the end of the day. What an amazing day. Janelle Monáe is incredible. Literally, I have goosebumps. We had a fantastic day of coming together, both in person and online, and so to all the folks watching, so happy to see you on the live stream as well. We had a full day of learnings, of insights, and most importantly, fun. So I just want to do a quick recap, and then we're going to let you all go. So first and foremost, if you remember early on in the beginning of the day, Stewart underscored that the fundamental challenge for all organizations is ultimately the creation of alignment. Remember, he talked about that quite a bit. He emphasized how critical it is to make sure that people and organizations can push in the same direction, right? So we don't have that friction. So that was the first thing that was really critical. He also talked about the power of channels, and clearly Janelle is a fan of channels as well. And he talked about the value that Slack can provide with the creation of more channels for more teams and different projects that you're working on. Next, we had Tamara on stage, incredible, as well as a number of our fantastic customers. She shared a little bit about the evolution of huddles, and she talked about some of the cool new functionality, including video, screen sharing, emojis, and more. And we're excited to have Janelle and her team try out some of that as well. She also talked about the new Slack platform and how it empowers anyone to unlock the full potential of their digital HQ. Next, we heard from leaders about how Slack drives value across their entire organization, allowing them to embrace flexibility so employees can do the best work of their lives from anywhere. Whether you're at home, whether you're on the beach, whether you're on the go, whether you're here at Javits, you can do the best work of your lives. And we also heard very powerful examples of how Slack and Salesforce together can increase productivity, improve team performance, and deliver even more value for our customers. So, to TLDR it for you, too long didn't read, at the very, very macro level, we talked a lot about all of the tools that can enable a more flexible, inclusive, and connected way of working. Now, I know many of you here in the audience, you were very excited to hear about some of the new products and solutions and whatnot, but you just don't want announcements. You just don't want product enhancements. You also want a roadmap that clearly outlines how you can empower your teams in a new digital-first world. And get this, we brought that for you as well. That's why the Future Forum, S.L.A.C's research consortium on the future of work, just published a new Wall Street Journal best-selling book that provides a practical blueprint for leaders looking to redesign where, when, and how their organizations work. It's called How the Future Works. Yes, you can definitely dap that up. We need to give flowers to that entire Future Forum team. It's called How the Future Works. You probably received a copy on your way in. Leading flexible teams to do the best work of their lives. And shout out to the incredible authors, Brian Elliott, Sheila Subramanian, Helen Kump, and the entire Future Forum team. Very proud of that organization. Now, in case you're wondering, okay, I have this book, what am I supposed to do with it? What is it? Well, I will explain. It's an actionable guide based on 2 years of research and thousands of conversations with executives. It's complete with best practices, case studies, and templates from some of the world's most successful companies. I cannot recommend it. Other than Janelle Monáe's book, it's the other one that you need to go pick up. It's just another way that we're helping people do their very best work and helping organizations be very successful in this digital-first world. Okay, so today's agenda may be over. I'm sorry, but we will be leaving you shortly. However, all of the Frontiers content and fun is actually continuing. So starting on June 28th, you can check out the Best of Frontiers playlist on Salesforce Plus, shout out to the entire Salesforce Plus team, to rewatch your favorite sessions. There will also be deep dives on the Digital HQ and S.L.A.C best practices specific to your line of business. And for those of you who build new connections, again, it was great to be in person, but I know a lot of you are also hanging out on the S.L.A.C community workspace. So it's a great way to stay connected to the S.L.A.C community after Frontiers is over. Whether you want to connect with your peers on all things Digital HQ, or you just want to share some pictures of your pets, because hey, don't we all, feel free to continue to do that in the community workspace. And now, in closing, I would like to send a huge thank you and congrats to everyone involved in Frontiers. Events, marketing, brand, design, communications, program management, sales, our production and AV teams, our COVID protocol and testing teams, our Salesforce teams. Thank you to all of the Salesforce folks who are also here, everyone at the Javits Center, and most importantly, you, our customers and our partners and our friends. Thank you so much for joining us. Have a great rest of your day. Stay safe and be healthy.
I loved it. It was amazing. I learned so much.
What's your favorite emoji?
Probably Janelle Monáe. That's my girl.
How about yourself?
Oh my God, I loved it so much. I learned so much. I met so many great people. This was the best ever.
The event hall is closing. Please make your way to the exit.
Oh, and other like and.